message as our menu options have changed. Thank you for... Fayetteville Police and Fire Dispatch number.
Yeah, hi. I'm calling about this noise coming from. Not sure. I don't know if it's coming from the downtown area per se, but it's coming from that direction. I just posted a new video to my YouTube channel for you all to pay attention to. If you listen to it through, or whoever listens to it through a surround sound system, make it like a realistic experience, not just through like a computer speaker. You can hear in the background of the recording, you can hear all the noise that I'm talking about. This like, it almost sounds like gunfire or like an excavator with a jackhammer attachment that's jackhammering. I don't know what's making the noise. I've been trying to track it down. It's not the freeway. It's not traffic noise down there off the freeway. I've been down there, and the noise down there is different. It's actually quieter down there than it is here in my neighborhood, where my private property is. So if you all want to take a look at the video that I posted on my YouTube channel, Exhibited Meat, you can take a look there and listen for the noise that I'm referring to, and then you guys can figure out where it's coming from. And if it is traffic noise, then you guys can corroborate that. You guys can record it and email me a copy of the recording or what have you, so I can see it and I can verify it myself. If I can find out what's actually making this noise, it may be a little bit easier for me to deal with, but until I figure out what the hell is making the noise, because it's not normal. It's not normal traffic noise. I've been around freeways and highways, most of my life, and this isn't normal. There's like machinery noises and metal screeching, scraping noises and grinding, and it's very just disrupting. It prevents me from being able to relax or being able to enjoy my property, and it goes on all hours of the night. And then, of course, when you all want to come to my property and try to terrorize me and harass and intimidate me further, that doesn't help matters either. I would prefer it if you guys would just pay attention to whatever's causing the nuisance in the first place, rather than trying to do whatever it is that you guys are trying to do to me. You still there?
I am. I'm just listening.
I just want to make sure we didn't get disconnected. I think you guys got a really cheap phone system. Keeps disconnecting somehow. But anyway, so I mean, the noise is going on right now. As a matter of fact, I'm recording as I'm speaking to you. I have you on speaker. I'm recording our conversation and the noise in the background. And I'm well in my home, and I have no electricity in the home, so I leave my windows open at night. I like to enjoy the fresh air, and this makes it impossible for me to relax and enjoy the fresh air. I have to move to an interior part of my home that's hotter. It's more uncomfortable. It's not conducive to my well-being, and I shouldn't have to. What's the word? I shouldn't have to make special adaptations to be able to try to enjoy my property, because you all can't figure out what's going on with these local area businesses or whatever. I mean, it's got to be a production facility somewhere using heavy machinery. I mean, that's what it sounds like to me, with all the metal screeching and the loud crescendo of clapping and slapping noises and like crashing. It's. Well, let me ask you this: do you know, is there any active rail yards in the area that operate 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, that actually like transfer rail cars from one train to another?
I'm not aware of one. We have some downtown.
Right, but they just come through periodically. I hear them occasionally, but they're not in town all night, all day long, 24/7, right? It's just periodically when they come through town. If they have a transfer, they might make some noise, but that's only periodically, right?
I'm not sure of the railroad schedule.
Well, I mean, I hear it all the time. It's very, very periodic, and I can tell the difference. What I'm hearing is not it's not rail yard, normal rail yard noise, but I just figured I would ask because I wasn't aware of it. But I'm relatively still new to the area, so I figure there might be some things out there that I'm not aware of. So I'm just trying to track down what the hell is causing this noise, so I can either get it to stop, or maybe at the very least be able to understand how it is that this doesn't get addressed, because this isn't normal. I've been in places all over the world, and this kind of noise is not normal. It's very unnatural. I mean, even third world countries have standards where they quiet down at night, because even they understand that exposure to noise, especially when the majority of the population is resting and sleeping, that sort of thing, it's more conducive to our health to be able to just be a natural environment rather than have all this artificial chaotic noise going on, because it affects people's sleep patterns and the body's ability to heal itself, and it creates opportunities for disease. I mean, this is all basic medical knowledge that anybody can understand if you guys do any kind of research into it. It's not very complicated. But anyways, that's why I'm a little bit passionate about this, because the other thing that occurred to me throughout this roughly 33 months to 3 years of dealing with this nonsense is this sort of thing could very well be contributing to the addiction in the area, the addiction rates in the populace in the area, as well as just the overall drug use. Not being able to get any relief from this type of disturbing noise, and then on top of that, having public servants that act completely out of bounds and violate people's God-given rights and trample all over them willfully without any regard whatsoever. That very well could be contributing to the state of affairs here in Zanesville as well. So you all might be just mindful of your all's actions. I mean, I know it's not necessarily the easiest job in the world, but you all chose to take that job. So the least you should do is do it the right way, right?
Correct.
Exactly. That's my sentiment. I'm glad we can agree on that. So, if you all could stop coming to my home and attacking me and harassing and intimidating me, I would appreciate it. I'm just trying to be able to enjoy my property, and I've done nothing but be able to bring, how should I say, not prosperity. I've added value to my property since I've been here. I've actually done good for the community in certain ways, but that's being completely overlooked, and I'm being treated as some kind of terrorist because why? I've asked you guys to do your job. I don't know if you can answer that question, but I would like to know why I'm being treated this way, just because I've asked repeatedly for you all to pay attention to these noise that goes on all night from different sources at different times. But I've identified most of it. So maybe you can enlighten me on why it is that you guys choose to harass and intimidate me rather than do your jobs according to the codes and statutes that dictate to you how to conduct yourselves. Do you have any comment on that?
No, I don't.
Okay. Well, if you could pass that on, if anybody has any comment, they feel free to email me, text me, call, leave a voicemail. Don't bother coming to my house, because when I see people that are not acting in their right mind with firearms all over my front of my property and banging on the walls and doors and such, and just trying to be terroristic in nature, I guess, for lack of better terms. That's not conducive to my safety, so I don't negotiate with terrorists. So if you guys could not do that, I would appreciate it. And if we could find a simpler way to figure this problem out and get it solved, I would greatly appreciate that, because I would prefer not to go down this path of whatever it is that you guys are trying to perform here with all this nonsense of shining lights in my windows and screaming and yelling and hollering in the neighborhood, disturbing the peace, and then not even being able to hear the very noise that I'm being able to record, and I'm talking to other people about that they hear it too. But then when I ask you guys about it, you guys say, "Oh, we didn't hear anything." It's odd how it's so selective with you all. And then, ironically, I got a voicemail the very first time in over a year that I decided to use my generator because I wasn't able to get any rest. And what do? You guys use that as an excuse. I got a voicemail I found earlier today. Something about disturbing the peace because I was using my generator. So whatever all that was about.
Here for that.
What's that?
I wasn't here for that.
Right. Well, I'm trying to understand what it is because it's complete nonsense. If anybody is disturbed by the sound of my generator or any noise that I make, they can file a claim in the court, and we can hash it out in court.
Hold on just a second. Sorry about your wait. You were telling me that you received a voicemail?
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. I'm kind of, I was a little bit shocked there. Usually, every time you guys put me on hold, I get disconnected on. So I'm kind of surprised we didn't get disconnected. Yeah, I got a voicemail. I don't know, at some point last night or early this morning. I found it earlier today, midday, and listened to it. And someone, I think it was, they said their name was Karen. I don't know if there's somebody there that works there named Karen. They said that. Sergeant Patnoff was outside of my property wanting to talk to me about disturbance of the peace because of my generator or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
What's that?
I'm not sure. I wasn't here then. I don't
Oh,
know.
okay.
I believe it would have been probably closer to day shift this morning.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make any difference. I've got the voicemail and stuff. I find it interesting that after 33 months, almost 3 years of complaining about this noise, the first time that I used my generator before daybreak, and it gets used against me. Yeah. God, I hate this whole music. I think this whole music should be banished from. Oh, there it is.
I'm sorry about that hold. I had a very irate caller.
No, that's okay. I know you guys are busy. Yeah, that's all. I'll wrap this up. I didn't mean to keep you so long. I just had a lot of information I had to give to you, and I know it's a lot of information to pass on. But if you could relay this information on to whomever, and I'm going to post our conversation as well with this recording and everything else on my YouTube channel, so it's all going to be there. So if they've got any questions, they can reference my YouTube channel, Exhibited Meat, and it's all there, free access. I don't get compensated for any of the views, nothing like that. It's all free. So go ahead and let them know they can view any of that for informational purposes or educational purposes if they want to learn something about the situation. And if they got any questions, they can either comment on the YouTube postings or call me or text me or email me, whatever they feel like. But if they can refrain from coming to my home and attempting to terrorize me, I take that quite personal when they do that. It's an invasion of my security and safety when they do that. So if they could please not trespass on my property anymore, I would greatly appreciate that. And there's probably a better way we could handle this situation.
Okay.
So, but yeah, with all that said, I guess to make a long story short, I appreciate your time. And do you have any questions for me or need any clarifications?
I think I'm good. Thank you.
All right. No, I appreciate it. Have a good night.
You're welcome. Bye.